English. 5. Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. 5. Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. Reading. This story is taken from the Arabian Tales. Read and enjoy. There was once a poor woodcutter called Ali Baba. One morning, when he was cutting wood in the forest, he heard the sounds of horses' hoofs. He was afraid, so he quickly climbed up a high tree and hid himself among the branches. 40 thieves on horses passed under his tree. Ali Baba watched, shaking with fear. The thieves stopped. They took some heavy bags off their horses. Their captain then led them to a rock nearby. "Open, sesame!" he cried. A door in the rock opened and the thieves followed their captain into a cave. Ali Baba waited there till evening. He saw the thieves come out of the caves. They left their bags behind them. "Shut, sesame!" shouted the captain. The door in the rock shut. The thieves rode away. Ali Baba climbed down from the tree and went towards the rock. "Open, sesame!" he cried. The door in the rock opened. Ali Baba went inside the cave. It was a dark cave, but to his surprise, it was full of white and colorful jewels. There were bags full of gold. Ali Baba's eyes shone. Quickly, he fetched the bags that were on his donkey's back. Quickly, he filled these with gold and jewels. On the top of them, he put some wood so that people would think he was carrying wood home. He and his donkey went outside. "Shut, sesame!" Ali Baba said. The door in the rock shut. Ali Baba reached home. He at once showed his wife his gold and jewels. How happy she was! "Go to Qasim's and ask him to lend us his scales." His wife obeyed at once. Qasim's, Ali Baba's brother, was rich and greedy. So was his wife. What is Ali Baba going to weigh? She wondered. She said nothing to Ali Baba's wife. When the scales were returned to her later, she discovered the truth. She saw a little piece of gold stuck to the scales. "Qasim," she called, "come here and look at this." Then she said, "Go and ask your brother where he got his gold." Qasim went at once to his brother's house. There, Ali Baba told him about the 40 thieves and the gold in the cave. "Tomorrow I shall go and fetch some gold," thought Qasim. But he did not tell his brother about it. Next day, Qasim took with him 10 donkeys, and each donkey had a big box on its back. "Open, sesame!" he shouted. The door in the rock opened. Qasim went inside the cave with all the bags he could carry. The door shut behind him. Qasim filled his bags with gold and jewels. Qasim went back to the door, for he wanted to carry his bag outside, where his 10 donkeys were waiting. The door would not open, for Qasim had forgotten the magic word. He thought and thought, but he could not remember it. He could not get out. He was a prisoner in the cave. Unfortunately, the thieves came to the cave. They found 10 donkeys outside their cave. Inside, they found Qasim. They killed him at once. The next night, Ali Baba went to look for his brother in the cave. He found him there dead. Sadly, he put his brother's body into a bag and carried it home. In the morning, the thieves returned to their cave. Where was Qasim's body? Someone has been here and has taken it away, they said. Someone knows our magic word. We must find that man and kill him. The captain ordered one of the thieves named Abdullah to find out that man. Abdullah rode into the town. Did anybody die here yesterday? He asked. Yes, a man in the marketplace told him. Qasim died. They have just buried him. Had Qasim any sons or brother? He had no sons, but he had a brother, Ali Baba. Can you tell me where Ali Baba lives? That is his house, over there, the one with green walls. Abdullah went to Ali Baba's house. When nobody was looking, he drew a white cross on the door with a piece of white chalk. Then he hurried away. Soon after this, Fatima, Ali Baba's servant girl, came home from the market. She saw the white cross on the door. That is strange, she thought. What can it mean? It may mean danger to my master. She found another piece of white chalk and drew cross on the wall of many other houses. That night, the 40 thieves rode into the town. By the light of the moon, they began looking for a house with a white cross on its door. Here it is, I have found it, cried one. No, that is it, cried another. You are wrong, it is here. This is it, I'm sure this is it, cried Abdullah. They did not know which was Ali Baba's house. They had to leave the town without finding it. They were angry with one another and especially with Abdullah. Tomorrow I shall go myself to look for Ali Baba's house, their captain said, and I shall make no mistake. The next morning the captain rode into the town. He soon found the house of Ali Baba. He looked at it very carefully for a long time. I shall not forget it, he said to himself. On his way back to the cave, he made a plan. When he reached the cave, he called his men. Bring me 20 donkeys and 40 oil jars. They were brought to him. One of the jars was filled with oil. A thief climbed into each of the remaining jars. Do not move from there till I tell you, their captain ordered. Late in the evening, he rode into the town once more. This time he led 20 donkeys carrying 40 jars of oil. He stopped at the door of Ali Baba's house. I am an oil merchant, he said with a pleasant smile. The inn is full. I can find no place there for myself and jars of oil. May I stay at your home tonight? You are welcome, Ali Baba answered. Leave your jars in the yard and come inside. Dinner is nearly ready. Ali Baba and his guest had dinner together. After dinner, they sat talking for a long time. The hours passed and the light in the lamp grew weaker and weaker. Bring some oil for the lamp, Ali Baba said to Fatima. Fatima took a little lamp. By the light of this, she found the way to the oil jars in the yard. Fatima put the lamp down on the lid of the nearest jar. She lifted the lid of the next one. Inside, there was no oil. There was a man. "Shall I come out now?" the thief whispered. "No, not yet," answered the clever Fatima. She put the lid back on the jar. Fatima took the lid off the next jar. "Shall I come out now?" said the second thief. "No, not yet." Fatima lifted the lid of each jar. Every jar except one contained a thief. 39 thieves. 40 thieves with the oil merchant, whom Fatima rightly to be their captain. "Oh, my poor master," Fatima thought. "I must help him. But how? What can I do against 40 thieves? I must do something quickly." Fatima went back to her master, bringing the oil that he had asked for. When she had filled his lamp, she went into the kitchen. She filled a pot with oil. She put this on the stove. When it was very hot, she carried it into the yard. She poured some boiling oil into the first jar and killed the first thief. Then she poured some into the second jar and killed the second thief. One by one, all the thieves were killed by Fatima. When Ali Baba had gone to bed and the house was silent, the captain crept into the yard. "Come out," he cried to his men. Nobody responded. "Come out," he shouted. No one said anything. All was silent and still. The captain went close to the first jar. He lifted the lid. He saw his dead friend. He lifted the lid of the second jar. Another dead friend. The third jar, another, another. Altogether 39 dead thieves. The captain was so frightened that he ran away. He ran away as fast as he could. In the morning, Fatima told her master what had happened. Ali Baba praised Fatima for her courage, and as a reward for her loyal service, he gave her permission to marry his son. Ali Baba and his family lived happily ever after. Reading comprehension.